Lesson 19, The Ugly Duckling. Let me read out the lesson and explain it to you. Mother Duck was really proud of her 6 new ducklings. They were soft, fluffy and yellow. Such fine little ducklings. But the 7th one was very different. It was bigger and its feathers were grey and shaggy. It looked ugly. Now in this lesson, Mother Duck was proud of her 6 new ducklings. The meaning of the word ducklings is baby ducks. Now they had soft, fluffy and yellow. They were really soft, beautiful. So Mother was proud about these ducklings. But the 7th one was different. It was bigger and the feathers were grey and shaggy. That means it had thick hair and it looked ugly. The next paragraph. All the same, Mother Duck thought, "It's my baby duckling." She loved it dearly. But the other 6 brothers and sisters didn't like the ugly duckling. When it waddled towards them, they turned their backs and ran away. Now, Mother Duck thought to herself, though the 7th duckling was grey and shaggy, it is her baby, and so she loved it dearly. But the other 6 brothers and sisters of this ugly duckling did not like this duckling because it was ugly. Whenever the duckling waddled, that is, went towards them, they turned their backs and ran away. The next paragraph. The little ducklings would go for a swim every day to a lake nearby. The ugly duckling wanted to join the others, but they didn't want him. They always swam away from him. He was left all alone. Now the little duckling would go for a swim every day to a lake nearby. The ugly duckling also wanted to join them. But what happened? These brothers and sisters would not like this ugly duckling to join them, so they swam away from him and left him all alone. The next paragraph. The ugly duckling swam better than the other ducklings, which did not please them at all. They teased him about his ugliness. His only friend was his mother. Other ducks told his mother, "All your ducklings are smart, but this big fellow looks so different. Why is he so ugly?" His mother only said, "He is mine and I love him too." Now, the ugly duckling swam better than the other ducklings. But the other ducklings did not like this, so they kept on teasing the ugly duckling about the ugliness. And the only friend that this ugly duckling had was his mother. Now everyone asked his mother, "Why is the 7th duckling so ugly, but the others look so beautiful?" But mother only answered that no matter however the 7th duckling was, the duckling was hers and she loved him. At last, feeling very lonely and sad, the ugly little duckling decided to leave the lake. He made his way to the river's edge and swam away with the river. Now, listening to all this and seeing what is happening, the duckling was very sad. And so he decided to leave the lake and he went away to the river which was nearby. Whenever the poor duckling tried to seek shelter, he found that he was always ridiculed by others. Smaller birds, animals, even human beings poked fun at him. He became lonelier and more miserable. Now here we see that this poor duckling, he went and tried to seek shelter, to find a place to stay. But he did not find anything according to his will because people ridiculed. Ridiculed means what? To say something bad about the duckling. Even the birds Animals, human beings, everyone spoke rudely, spoke bad things, poked fun at him, means to make fun of someone. So here the duckling was made fun of. He became lonelier and more miserable. He was alone and he felt unhappy and uncomfortable. The next paragraph. By and by he grew bigger and stronger. But whenever he looked at his own reflection, he thought, I look so ugly. He was afraid to look at his own reflection. He hid himself if he saw anyone coming. Now here, the poor duckling was growing bigger and stronger. But whenever the duckling saw its reflection, he thought, I look so ugly. So much so that he was afraid to look at his own reflection. Reflection means to see your image. Now this duckling would swim in the river, so he saw the reflection in the water and he was scared to see his own reflection. And when he saw someone coming, he would hide himself. One day, when he was hiding among the reeds, he saw a flock of graceful white swans swim past. They were the most beautiful birds he had ever seen. How wonderful to be like them, he said to himself. Now one day, when he was hiding among the reeds, reeds are very thin, small, soft, grass-like plants, and he saw a flock of graceful white swans. They were swimming, and when he saw those swans, the thought that came to the mind of this duckling was that they are so beautiful birds, and how wonderful to be like them, he said to himself. The next paragraph. Then came winter with cold winds and snow. Without any shelter, the poor duckling was frozen in the snow. A kind man saw him. He broke the snow and saved the duckling. Now it was winter and it was very cold and snowfall was happening. Now the duckling did not have any shelter, any place to hide himself. The poor duckling was frozen in the snow. It was covered with snow. And just at that time, a kind man saw him. He broke the snow and saved the duckling. The next paragraph. Soon it was spring. The duckling had now gained a lot of strength. Again, he found his way to the river's edge and swam further away. Now it was spring season. Spring season is a season which comes between winter and summer. And during this season, the trees grow new leaves and new flowers appear on the trees. Now the duckling had become strong, and so it swam to a river nearby. Next paragraph. One fine morning, when he flapped his wings against his sides, he rose high into the air. He flew on and on till he found himself in a beautiful fragrant garden. From a thicket close by came there beautiful white swans, rustling their feathers and gliding lightly over the smooth water. Now we see here that one morning when he flapped his wings against his sides, that means to move. Flapped means to move the wings up and down and trying to fly. What happened? He rose high up into the air, he started flying, and he flew on and on till he found himself in a beautiful fragrant garden. That means he came to a garden with lovely flowers and beautiful fragrance. From a thicket close by, we know what is a thicket. A thicket is a place where many trees and bushes grow together in one place. So from a thicket close by came their beautiful white swans. Now these swans were so beautiful and they were rustling their feathers and gliding lightly over the smooth water. What is the meaning of gliding? Gliding means they were flying but without moving their wings. The next paragraph. The duckling remembered the lovely birds. He was afraid to meet them, but he felt a strange longing to be with them. He made up his mind to approach them, no matter how badly they treated him later on. Now when this duckling saw these beautiful swans, it wanted to meet these birds, though he was afraid to meet them, because he was scared that they may too throw him away, saying that he was ugly. But the duckling wanted to meet the swans somehow, so he made up his mind and he approached them. Approached them means he went close to them. And he thought to himself, no matter what happens, even if they treat me badly, I want to meet them. So he went to meet them, swam towards the beautiful birds and bowed his head down to the surface of water. And what did he see in the clear stream below? His own image. No longer a dark, grey, ugly bird, but a graceful and beautiful swan. The other swans swam round the newcomer and welcomed him. Now here in this paragraph, we see that these beautiful birds were there around the place, and so the duckling went swimming to these birds, bowed his head, and he saw the surface of the water. What did he see? He saw his own image, and to his surprise, he was no longer dark grey and ugly, but a graceful and beautiful bird. He was a swan. The other swans swam around this newcomer, and they welcomed him. He was so happy now. Let's see what happens. The bird that had lived a miserable life as an ugly duckling was a swan after all. He curved his slender neck and cried joyfully from the depth of his heart, I never dreamed of such happiness as this while I was an ugly duckling. Now this bird was very happy because it lived a miserable life of an ugly duckling, and everyone would talk rubbish, bad about this duckling. Now he saw that he was changed into a beautiful swan, and so joyfully he cried in the depth of his heart, and he was so happy that he was no more an ugly duckling. Now here there are meanings for your reference. You can go through them, read them, understand and learn it. There was an idiom in the lesson which I explained to you, poked fun at. It means to make fun of someone. Do read the lesson again and again, learn the meanings so that you understand it well.